Why don't we dig up the dead soldiers and make sure that they're actually dead?
Of May and the end of September, it is really crowded here. There are lots of people coming, you know, from...
Test. Okay.
Okay. Well, my name is Helmut Genzel. I'm the last 15 years I'm looking for treasures, especially Nazi treasure, World War II treasure, and information I have since 1962 from people who were SS people, and I was to question people in Brazil, in Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, all over the world. However, I received lots of information, but everything, it just comes here to the area Hradiško, the area Štechovec. So that's in the last 10 years I'm here, and I didn't still find what I'm looking for, you know, but hopefully.
Okay, I'll sit down. Okay, can you do that again? Sorry.
All over.
Yeah, this over. But just keep
looking at you.
Yeah, just look at me.
Okay, my name is Helmut Genzel. I'm a German citizen, living here in the Czech Republic now 10 years, and looking for World War II or other called Nazi treasures. There's no doubts about it that one of them, or maybe two of them, are located right here in this area. That's why I'm here. All my information, what I got about this, I'm working on this since 1962. Most I got in Brazil, Bolivia, Peru, Chile, Argentina, and in Germany. And I didn't still find what I'm really looking for. I found lots of stuff like ammunition and things like that, you know. But the real thing is still to be found.
In Štechovec.
In Štechovec, what I know, and I'm pretty positive about 99%, are 125 boxes or cases from the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute in Berlin. That was the institute who made all these weapons, you know. And they are here. There's no doubts about it. And they have some secret stuff what they brought in from the Prague area, what they were working here. And of course there's lots of stuff from concentration camps.
Okay.
All kind, from seismic and radios and electronic penetrating radio things, everything. Whatever it was available, we were using. One fact is that we never had high technology. You know, all our stuff what was is known all over. So that's more or less what. No, this aircraft. Here is one. There was a gentleman named Bauer. I met in Brazil. And he was talking a lot about it because he said that he was actually in Prague. And he said there's no doubts about it that one of the saucers was brought to Štechovec on truck, from 3 or 4 truckloads, okay? Now, General Klein, who was the chief here in Hradiško, you know, and he told me personally in prison, okay, that he could tell to the Czech government where all this stuff is, because there's lots of gold and things like that here. And he knew, and he said, I don't care about gold. Was stolen in the concentration camp, belongs to Jews, etc., etc. But he said, in the same location where is the gold and all this stuff is the flying saucer. And that's why he cannot, under no circumstances, he can tell us where the entrance to the tunnel is. He always said it's no problem if I get 4 high-ranked officers from Russia, United States, Britain and France, and my older son comes with them and says, listen, Dad, these are not imposters, they are for real, okay? And he will tell them, but not to the Czechs or to the communists only. And they made even a kind of a contract, an agreement on it. However, it never came to this, to sign anything. So after 18 years, he was very sick, so it was no sense anymore, because even if they would have kept him here for another year or so, if he didn't say anything for 18, why he should say something for the last 6 months? That's why he was let go to Germany, and he lived still about 8 years, you know.
So do you, if you make a statement out of this, do you definitely believe that there was saucer technology developed?
Oh, definitely. You know, I cannot tell you the kind or the methods, but saucers, no doubts about it. There's no doubts about it. Because also I had the possibility to speak with a gentleman named Heinrich Fleissner, you know, who actually patented one in Washington, you know. And he was working with Werner von Braun, you know. He called himself that he was actually the teacher of Werner von Braun. Age-wise, it would be all right, but that's what he told me. And no doubts about it, after the war, he was about 3 years in the States, or 4 years before he came back, and there's no doubts about it. But everything leads to Belly. It's an airport near Prague. Okay, and that's the mistake. You see, we cannot say that we were flying saucer that just took off and gone. Okay, but it was a flying saucer really. Now, what kind of engine or whatever it had, who knows? But it was not found. Or there are photos existing, you know, from it, but it was never found.
Just check exposure. The light is bouncing around a lot. So how would you get theoretically a flying saucer into a mine shaft that's under Haderisco? I mean, it would be quite large, and were the holes, the entrances, ways to the complexes here that large?
Yeah, I cannot answer you this question exactly, but I tell you that 2 airplanes, 252s, and they are larger than a saucer, right? They landed here the last day of April, 29 or 30, and they never took off, and they are hidden here. You see, the son of Klein, he was present. Overnight, they dismounted, put them in part, and until now we are unable to find them. And they are just somewhere here, if they are in a ground, in a hole or things, or in a tunnel. You see, nobody knows really how large, how big the tunnels are. You know, and if they are only tunnel, or if they are really, really bigger places underground. But can I tell you? I have first-hand proof on a gentleman named Bauer, Alfred Bauer. He lived in Rio de Janeiro. I met him several times. I met him in Manaus with several other SS people. And Heinrich Fleissner, he lived in Augsburg. He died in 78 or 18, things like that. I met Kurt Laube. He was actually standing guards in front of the saucer, right? He died not about also 4 years ago. So I have about the other 2 who actually saw it or were working on it. And that was in Belly, here in Prague. They were all. Yeah. So there's no doubts about it.
Of the saucer that you can give me, do they explain what they look like, or do they draw them?
No. It is even picture. It is just really like a saucer, okay? And how you say? It's not so flat as now you can see it in the science fiction things. You know, it is more oval, and it was standing on gear, or how you say, spoke in plural, they spoke in more than one, right? We were working on these sources and things like that. Or even Bauer said that the first one, okay, they took off. They were flying actually, not that they just prepared it somewhere, you know. They were flying all over Prague.
The Allies captured all that technology and now have it secret somewhere?
I don't know. I believe so. You know, I believe so. That's also, you see, you cannot go what you see in a movie or in some Discovery channels or things like that. They say lots of stuff. But these people here, they didn't go on any television. They actually were kind of a secret, and only in private they were talking about things like that and what they had. And also Goebbels always said our Wunderwaffe, the special, that was no V weapon or something. It was something like the source. So that's my belief. You know, I could be wrong, or I may be wrong. I don't know. But you see, here it was not that they put 2 or 3 these saucers made out of wood and put just paint on, and would let them run. They saw it and running. They saw them taking off in the short places. You see.
Was they made them?
This I don't know exactly, but when you drive here from Prague to Dublin, you see the tunnels where the train goes under. Okay, they were all closed. And here in Hradišťko, somebody says under the Mednik, like we were measuring about 2 weeks ago, or directly under the city, are big, large factories. You see, here is one thing, and that's not a joke. I don't know if you spoke with Mr. Muzik about it. There were 260 women working in these factories here, in these underground factories, and none of the 260 came back after the war. None of them. You see, so now put somewhere 260 women to work to put things together. And the other thing is, I saw it. I don't have it, but it's in Ministry of Interior. I saw it. They were from Gbely, from Prague. They had boxes, also number with boxes, and then branch, Zweigstelle, branch Mednik. Okay, so, and they drove these boxes here to the bridge, by the bridge, because that was army. Here the SS took over, took it to Mednik, and came with other boxes back with the car. So here they were putting something together, whatever it is, you see? Because it's very deep. Here you are talking about 40, 50 meters underground. Okay, and the tunnels, they also were closed, everything closed. That they said that they working on special weapons, you know. Nothing has been found. Nothing has been found. After the Russian, when they came, they opened all these things. But no Russian, nobody yet went underground in Stechowitz. Nobody. The only one who took out 30 boxes was 1946, the American Army, under the supervision of a Captain Richardson. They came in out, and they knew, the Americans, they knew what they were looking for. But they opened one of the tunnels, it's a kind of 9 meters, things like that. They took out 30 boxes. But all these boxes were about people who were cooperating with the Germans and things like that. Not what they were looking for.
Can you just let me pause?
Don't forget, when we talk about Gbely was an airport and a factory. But you have Gbely, cross Letnani, was a factory and also landing strips. And after you had Avia Čakovice. Avia Čakovice, that was the biggest, was Hermann Goering Werke. You know, so these three, all, they are what? 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers away from each other, you see. So it could happen, I'm not saying that only in Gbely, but everything what was secret, hidden or things like that, whatever that was in Gbely, that's definitely.
So maybe if you can say this as a statement.
These three, as I tell you, was Belly, the airport Belly and the factory. But Avia Čakovice, that is known even today still, but they built was Hermann Göring Werke, that was the biggest things. And Letnan, it was a kind of a triangle of these airports, and it was super secret, everything, and there was no doubts that they had something there. I haven't seen it by myself, but only what I was told. And what I am telling you is not from the third hand. It's right from people who were on the spot.
Let us know.
No, I don't know. This definitely is kind of a shaft or entrance, air shaft we're calling it. You see, so and I don't know if there's any connection with one where you got it from, but you can see that it had kind of air circulation there. You see, because I don't know where this is from, but what they did here, and I have witnessed, it was right here. His name is Anton, an old German. And he showed me more or less the area, but it's not about saucer what I'm talking, it's gold. There's a truckload of gold, about 16 boxes, and he was person who threw it in there. And it was also an air shaft. And after what they did, they put iron sticks and loaded with rocks. That depends how much, how deep it was, with rocks, and only afterwards they put soft material over. You see, so even if the air sucks through this material, and it would circulate the air for years and years and years. It's interesting. I personally don't know where it is. Down to Šumava, near to the German or Austrian border, what is now. I haven't been there, but I have a gentleman, because I got information about the project. So I hired people and I sent them there to work. They've got the tunnel, but the tunnel is green, now it's caved in, so they don't know how far. However, there's no question, that had a kind of a factory, and they were making engines to the airplane, Messerschmitt. You know, but the American, even when they came there, they broke everything down and blew it up and things like that. Yeah. And it is in the forest also. We would never say that in this area could be a kind of factory or something. You see? No, there are interesting places here, but I'm not leaving until I don't open this one.
One's enough.
Yeah, it costs me lots of money, lots of time, I tell you that.
Okay, well, I think